everyone, and welcome back to Morning Cup. I'm so happy you're here to celebrate another Monday mindset with me and start your week off very powerful. And this week, I'm really excited to be talking about making the impossible possible. And the quote for this week is, "The smallest spark ignites the fire that lies deep inside you, and suddenly everything is possible." And that is unknown who has that quote, but it's an amazing quote. And I love that because it's true. When we have this fire and passion within ourselves, nothing can stand in our way. And everything seems possible because it is if we put our mindset to it. And that's why I think it's so important to remember how powerful our minds are. And it's not just our minds, but it's how we show up, magnetized for what shows up for you. And how are you showing up for yourself today? But going back to magnetizing, when we show up for ourselves, when we are putting in the work, I believe the universe meets us halfway. And if you've ever heard of Gabby Bernstein, I absolutely love her. But her book, The Universe Has Your Back, it talks a lot about that. And it's really about doing the work. Because a lot of people will talk about, let's manifest or law of attraction. But people are just like, well, I put it out there and nothing happened. Well, we have to do the work. Nothing just happens. Maybe that has happened for you. Great. But majority of us, it's doing the work. It's showing up. It's putting the effort in, day out. So that's my question to you this week is, how are you showing up for yourself to be your best self, to get everything you want, and to really achieve the impossible when we don't think it's possible, but it's taking those baby steps. So some fun facts about who's achieved the impossible, because it really goes back to mindset. But the first one is Warren Buffett. He reads 500 pages a day from any book or books, multiple. But that seems crazy. But he puts the time and effort into it, and he's made that possible. He's talked about it in multiple places and platforms, but that seems impossible. He's made it possible. And the next one is President John F. Kennedy. He put a man on the moon. Everyone's like, this is crazy. That's never going to happen years and years ago. But he did. And that's just talking about, again, achieving the impossible. And then we have Roger Bannister, and he beat the 4-minute mile. People are like, you can't run faster than 4 minutes in a mile. And he did it. And then so many after him. And why is that? Because it's a mindset. It's being able to push through barriers that are created that we can push through. It just really goes back to the willingness and the effort and taking action to do so. And the second thing is turn why I can't into how can I. And that really goes into a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're not thinking of, oh, I can't do this or it's impossible. But the reality is, how can you? It's pushing through. It's finding a way through. Because a lot of times, if you look at any business, they were probably told no millions of times, if not hundreds, thousands, if not a million. But being able to push through things that are seeming just not available or not able to do it, but we find a way because nothing is limiting us, because we know deep down inside in our mindset, it's possible. Maybe not exactly how we plan it, but we know deep down inside that there is the passion for it and we want to make it happen, and we will if we put our mind to it and take the action steps needed to do so. So the third thing is invest your time in what you're focused on achieving. So when we set a goal, we don't set a goal and then expect it to happen. We make the time and the effort, whatever that goal is. And when we're making the time, it's in addition to that, it's using your resources. So maybe it's YouTube, webinars, podcasts, books, whatever it may be, but really being able to use what's available to you to learn and understand. If you're learning a language, using an app, using YouTube to hear it, to see it, because everybody learns differently. And that's why I love having these slides here too, because one, it helps me, but it also helps being able, if you are listening, but maybe you need to see it, because I'm a very visual person. I need all the learning styles, but it's being able to use those resources that are available to you to really understand what you're trying to achieve and focus in on. And the next one in that third aspect is network. What does your network look like? And I always say your network is your net worth, because it's who do you know that's in that field or what you're trying to achieve, the goal you're trying to reach. So for instance, a lot of times people reach out to me about psychology. just because that's my background and they know that. So they'll ask for referrals or book recommendations or just asking things that I still know. Even people will ask me about their children that are going into the field of psychology. And I will always tell them my experience. I'm like, this is my perspective and my experience, but let me put you in touch with other people that have a different experience so they can get a really big picture of what they're going into if they decide to go in the field of psychology, or if just being able to see different perspectives can really be helpful. And that's why I love having such a great network and a very diverse network. But that's just one small example of how it's important to have a network. And if you are focused on a goal, who can you reach out to? Who can help you really learn a little bit more about what you're trying to achieve? And then practice, take action. When we take action, when we're putting stuff into play, like just like Roger with the 4-minute mile, I'm sure he didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to run it in under 4 minutes. He put in the time and effort and energy, practicing day in, day out in order to hit that goal. Same concept. When we're practicing, it's making progress so we can take that action. And the last thing is keep it simple. The basic necessities. And I will continue to talk about these because I think they are so important. And the first one is sleep. A lot of times, our moods, our feelings, a lot of that has to do with our sleep cycles. Everybody's different. Some people need 4 to 5 hours of sleep, some need 6, 7 to 8. It just really varies depending on the person. But if we're not getting quality sleep, that can really impact other aspects. So if we're waking up tired already, we might be reaching for more coffee or any kind of caffeine drink to keep us going. And in turn, we might not be drinking enough water because we're drinking so much caffeine and not balancing that out. And hydration is so important. And it's not even just hydration, it's nutrition too. What are you eating? If you're tired or like not feeling well in the morning, you might grab something on the go and it might not be full of nutrients, which is going to keep you going and fuel your energy, versus picking up something like fast food where it might be greasy and really affect that like mood inside too, because a lot of times certain foods kind of impact our mood. And then of course your quality of life. If you aren't doing those basic necessities, how can you achieve the impossible? Because that's your foundational ground. That's what we need: our sleep, our water and hydration, nutrition, exercise, and just really taking care of ourselves from the inside out. So I hope that was helpful for today. I'm so glad you were able to join me. Make sure to subscribe and like, and let me know what you got out of this video. I'll see you on the next video.